Hello there everyone, Ashnflash here, and welcome on into my review of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. And it's pretty crazy to think back to. I remember watching it live as they announced this movie coming out. Like, it's very different to think back to how long ago that was as well. Like, pre-COVID and all that. My goodness, it's crazy to think back. But in this video, I'm going to continue to talk about this in spoilers, as well as talk about the amazing Lego sets that you can actually check out reviews for. At the end, I will link them both. And by the way, I call it Shang-Chi back then, and that's just because I didn't know that it was pronounced Shang-Chi, so you'll just have to bear with me. But my goodness, amazing. The action is probably the best we've ever gotten in the MCU in terms of like combat. And then the humor was great. It wasn't like forced. It just felt really natural. And the visuals for the most part were just phenomenal. And the worlds here, really, really great. Highly recommend that if you have the ability to go see this, go watch it. I think it's going to be on Disney Plus. It will be added, I believe, at least by the end of the year. But really, really solid. Like right up there, I think, with some of the best stuff that we've gotten from the MCU. So anyways, let's jump straight into spoilers. I think that the thing that I want to talk about the most, because I was obsessed with it back then, is Iron Man 3 and the Mandarin and you'll never see me coming and all that. Like seeing Trevor Slattery back here. It's hard because I knew going in there was a leak of like some visuals or something that leaked before, and it was like, oh my goodness, it's Ben Kingsley, and they literally just like put it on social media like he's in it, and then people were like, no, it's not actually him, when it clearly was. And then they invite him to the premiere, which I don't have a problem with inviting him to the premiere. Bring him in through the back, don't bring him through the red carpet. Like, that completely and utterly spoiled the fact that he was in it. If I was going into this, I would have been like, oh, it would have been really great. And then another thing that spoiled it was the fact that they added All Hail the King onto Disney Plus. They brought in one of the one-shots, which kind of creates a bit of a problem, I would say, but it was really, it confirmed that he was in it. I just wish that maybe they uploaded that next week, but I don't know. I just wish it was a secret. Like, I think it would have blown my mind for that to be, like, it redeemed the twist in my eyes, I guess, of the Mandarin being, Trevor back in Iron Man 3, bringing me back to 2013, however, like almost 10 years ago. But it was really great to see him back, and it was really cute. Like, him and Morris were just adorable together. It was so funny. But yeah, I think that I would have really loved to have that been a surprise, just to talk about the Mandarin, I guess, and the history with Iron Man, just to kind of follow the timeline. I guess the 10 rings that Tony's being held captured by is actually the 10 rings, of course, and they are part of this group. Not that it's ever mentioned or anything like that, but then specifically with Aldrich Killian, when he uses the 10 rings as his plot to take down the government, it was really interesting to hear them talk about that here, just in general, like the ramifications of that, like how they took down the government and everything like that. But specifically what I found interesting was in the one shot, the guy who's in a wheelchair from Batman vs. Superman, he was like, hey, you stole his name and he's not happy. But that confuses me here, because in a really funny way, he makes fun of the Mandarin and that name of they chose an orange, which I thought was really funny. But I just found that really strange. So he's mad that he stole the name. But even then, he didn't actually, because it was all Aldrich Killian and AIM. It wasn't actually him. Like, he's just the actor, and they knew that. So why take him to kill him when he had literally nothing to do with it? But it was funny that they kept him around. And I really did enjoy. I was like, oh my goodness, he's going to help protect them, the ancient village. And then he died, and I started to tear up. I'm like one of the most hated things about the MCU, and then they brought him here, and I was taken right back to 2013, and I was just like, no, I can't believe they killed him. And then he was playing the role or whatever, but really great. I've talked too much about him. Shang-Chi was amazing. Oh my goodness, the choreography here, the fighting. Honestly, I think the bus fight was just phenomenal. Like, it was just a great reveal as well, and seeing Katie as well just kind of see this other side to her best friend was really funny. Their dynamic was great. She was so funny. That, like, chase, I think, is, like, I don't know. I was about to say it's better than Nick Fury's, but that's kind of a different level. But it's, like, right up there, I think, with some, like, the best MCU moments, I would say. Like, it was really phenomenal, and just the way that he was, like, flipping about and going to the front, coming through the door, oh my goodness, it was really great. And seeing the guy back from Spider-Man Homecoming do a flip, hey, you're that spider guy. I thought that was really funny. I really loved seeing him back here. That was really cute that he was over there in San Francisco. And I really just loved that whole fight scene. And then to go over in how I think it was, and they had with Wong and the Abomination and whatever's going on there, is Wong taking him out of prison or something like that, teleporting him in and out. And it was just interesting that they're friends, like he called him Emil, and that they've been training or something. I want to know more about that. That was really great to see his sister as well, and the empire that she's created, and that whole fight on the outside of the building was, again, just phenomenal. Really, really great. And it was great to see just some of the different characters from the sets pop up throughout the whole thing. It was really interesting to see the love story between Shang-Chi's mom, and I'm going to keep calling him the Mandarin because that's who he is in my eyes. I don't care if he's an orange, but that was really cool to see. I really liked that fight as well. That was a really great fight, and seeing her flip around the 10 rings I thought were really great. Speaking of the 10 rings, like the actual physical ones, those things, they looked great. They sounded amazing. I really loved all of the effects. My favorite thing that they did with it was the platform jumps, kind of like what Doctor Strange did for Star-Lord when they were fighting Thanos. I thought that was really cool to see him using them as platforms to, like, jump around. And even when they did, like, the almost like an Iron Man sort of like takeoff, like a blast, was really cool when they were like hopping from the like little village to the gate. I thought that was really neat. The thing that confused me, I guess he was thinking like it was a gateway to hell or something like that, or that her spirit was in there because, he saw her die. So I thought that was really interesting, and my mind kind of went to, because they've talked about doing in season 2 of What If they're going to do, when they do more, a lot of it's going to be phase 4 based. So I'm really curious if they do something from this, like maybe Shang-Chi steps in and protects her as mom or something like that, or even, maybe they kill the whole family, and what does that, leave with the Mandarin, and he then would have the necklaces then, and no one would be able to stop him. Like, there's just so many things that I'm like, this would be such a really fascinating story. Like, I think there's definitely some really cool what ifs there, and even like taking the spin at the end, like I thought that was really interesting as well, to have the sister actually take over the 10 rings. I thought that was really great to see as well. And just, I don't necessarily think that they'll be an evil group. They definitely could be, but from what I could see, like it was more inclusive. They were just having fun. They were just like graffiti and all that stuff. They recolored the rings. They're going to return at some point, maybe in a Disney Plus show or a sequel or something like that. So I thought that was really great. And yeah, I thought that the final fight as well was fantastic, with all the 10 rings fighting against the village, and then having them work together. I thought was really great to fight whatever they're called, the demons and stuff like that, the soul suckers. So that was really, really cool. But yeah, Katie was hilarious. It was great to have her moments. The sister Xialing, I think it was, with her Scorpion Mortal Kombat weapon was great. And again, like Shang-Chi, like his performance was amazing. The combat was phenomenal. And he was just like the emotions that he portrayed throughout the whole thing, I think was really interesting. And to have that dynamic that he needed to take down his dad. The dragon as well. Really, really cool. I think the dragon looked phenomenal. It was really great to actually see a dragon. Iron Fist. So it was really cool to see here. But the end credit scene, like, that blew me away. It was really great to see Wong come and pick the two of them up, and then to have them meeting with Carol as well as Bruce, which is now in his human form. So that's really interesting, because I'm thinking of what's up with She-Hulk and some of the things that I've seen from that. And yeah, it's just interesting. He's got the sling around his arm, but then at the end of Endgame, he was Smart Hulk still, and he wasn't human. So don't know what's up with that, but that's really interesting. But it was cool to see, like, all of them interact. Also, what is it calling? I think it could be calling a couple of things. The first thought that I'm like calling someone and I'm thinking Galactus. What if it's calling Galactus that to come like to Earth? I think that was really interesting. Or maybe it's a signal to Fing Fang Foom as well. I thought honestly that might have been what was behind the gate, but then you saw it in like the little wooden statues in the story, so that was really interesting. But great post-credit scenes, really cool. Good setup for the future as well. I cannot wait to see him help with more things. I think this definitely needs a sequel very soon. I can see this being a huge hit. I just hope that COVID doesn't have too much of an impact on it and that it is a big success. And speaking of a success, I guarantee you these Lego sets are going to sell out. I guarantee you, specifically that dragon one, I feel like a lot of people are going to want to go out and get. I think it would have been cool if the car chase, the escape from the 10 rings, if that was actually Razor Fist's car, but I understand that it's not, and I get that they just wanted to do like a more generic vehicle. Who knows what Lego actually had access to in terms of concept art, but honestly I think that the two sets, minus the skin color, because I really wish that they were more consistent with that across all of Lego, like all of the characters really should have had new faces, or even using some of the ones from Jurassic World, which seems to do a good job with inclusion. But anyways, the sets I think are phenomenal, really great. I really think that the Great Protector set and the Battle at the Ancient Villages, I think the actual name, that set I guarantee you is going to be very hard to find. I really recommend going out and getting it. You've got some great figures and that dragon as well. It's just a beautiful display piece. But yeah, you can check out my reviews if you want to hear. Again, apologies for calling him Shang-Chi, but there's definitely another set in here somewhere I think that you could probably do. I know a lot of people want like the actual little tournament area, the arena, but that could be a set with Emil and the Abomination and Wong, and then Shang-Chi and his sister as well. But I personally would really love to get to the main Soul Sucker. I think that would be really cool to get just a build there, and maybe, you know, I was gonna say Infinity Saga, label it under that, but yeah, he's on those box designs now, so who knows what the future holds for that. I really love another follow-up set to this movie. I think that'd be really great to get, and I wish that we could get a Trevor Slattery figure. I think that would have been really cool as well. But anyways, everyone, I would love to hear your thoughts about this movie. What did you think of it? What did you think of the sets? How accurate were they? What would you like to see happen in the future for it? As well as maybe you have an idea for a what if from this. I feel like that whenever like the Eternals comes out, hopefully it doesn't get delayed, and we do a review there. I feel like this should be an ongoing question where it's like, what sort of what if scenario can you think of for each of these movies? I think would be really fun to do. But anyways, be sure to check out those reviews, as well as if you want, we do a weekly review here of each episode of What If, so you can check out a playlist linked at the end as well. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I hope you all have a great day. I will see you all in the next one.